Can a father who is still a criminal be considered a role model? Or is that just criminal insanity? Did the kids of the world's most infamous drug lords follow in their parents' footsteps and continue their legacy of crime? In this video, we'll explore the complex and fascinating lives of the most notorious drug lords and their children. These kingpins amassed vast empires through illegal means, leaving behind a trail of bloodshed and devastation. Sit tight as we delve into the wealth and luxurious lifestyles the children were exposed to, and how it shaped their involvement in the drug trade. Join us to discover whether the kids of these kingpins continued their parents' notorious legacy, or chose a different path. The children of El Mayo. Meet Vicente Zambada Nieta, the son of one of the most feared drug lords in the world, El Mayo. With a reputation for violence and ruthlessness, El Mayo took over the Sinaloa Cartel after the fall of El Chapo, and Vicente was groomed to take over his father's empire from a young age. But living a life of luxury, Vicente had never known the hardships of his father's poverty-stricken upbringing. His lust for power and blood led him down a path of conducting sketchy deals and coordinating narcotic shipments using violence when necessary. However, his reign was cut short when he was arrested in 2009 and extradited to the US. After pleading guilty to several charges including assassinations from prison, Vicente cooperated with the DEA and became a key witness in the trial against El Chapo. Now serving a 15-year sentence, he has returned $1 billion from his drug profits as part of his plea agreement. From a life of excess to a life behind bars, Vicente's story is one of greed, power, and betrayal. Although El Mayo's son Vicente is well known for his involvement in the Sinaloa Cartel, did you know that he's not the only child of this infamous drug lord? Meet Serafin Zambada, El Mayo's younger son, who was also introduced to the brutal world of drug trafficking at a young age. While some might view El Mayo as a ruthless father, he saw himself as a mentor, guiding his son through the ins and outs of running a criminal empire. However, despite his father's guidance, Serafin found himself in trouble with the law and was extradited to the United States in 2014 on charges of drug trafficking. He pled guilty and was sentenced to 5.5 years in prison. What surprised many was his willingness to return $250,000 from his profits to the government. Serafin expressed remorse for his actions, admitting that his involvement in the drug business caused harm to many people. The children of El Chapo. Get ready for an exciting ride, because what I'm about to reveal will leave you in awe. You may know El Chapo, the infamous leader of the Sinaloa Cartel, but did you know that he had a secret family? That's right, the ruthless drug lord had at least 10 children with several women, and is currently locked up in a maximum high-security prison in the United States. He will never see the light of day again. So who has taken over the reins of the Sinaloa Cartel? Is it El Mayo, a wanted man with a whopping $5 million bounty on his head? Or El Chapo's trusted sons? You guessed right. The four most trusted sons of El Chapo, also known as Los Chapitos, are now in charge of the biggest amphetamine distribution network from Central America to the US, according to the DEA. Ivan, the oldest son of El Chapo, is responsible for transporting cocaine to the US and bringing the profits back to Mexico. He also resorts to violence, like his father, to eliminate rival cartels. In 2019, he organized a violent rescue of his brother Ovidio in Culiacan, Mexico. After the death of his 22-year-old brother Edgar in a parking lot, Ivan's main priority was protecting his family. He's currently being sought, with a reward of $5 million for information leading to his capture, and thus he has followed in his father's footsteps. Meet Jesus Alfredo Guzman. Born 3 years after his older brother Ivan, Jesus has made a name for himself on the DEA's top 10 most wanted fugitives list. He's no stranger to the world of cartels, having committed a laundry list of crimes, including trafficking, bribery, gun trade, and ordering assassinations and kidnappings. Known as one of the cartel's mad dogs, he's feared by many. But don't let his ruthless reputation fool you. Jesus is also the brains behind the cartel's operations. In fact, when El Chapo was arrested in 2016, Jesus took the reins and expanded Sinaloa's operations by building labs and increasing transportation routes. So, if you thought the end of El Chapo meant the end of the Sinaloa Cartel, think again. Jesus Alfredo Guzman is demonstrating their criminal activities are far from being eradicated. Los Chapitos, the four eldest sons of El Chapo, are not the only ones vying for a piece of their father's criminal empire. Ovidio and Joaquin, his younger sons, are also sought by the US authorities for their involvement in various crimes. Ovidio's in charge of their own drug transportation business, which extends all the way to Australia, while Joaquin is also wanted for several charges including drug trafficking, murder, kidnapping, and money laundering. In total, there are multiple charges against them. The rest of El Chapo's children seem to be staying out of trouble, much to everyone's relief. Alejandrina, his oldest daughter, has ditched the cartel game altogether and is now a fashion designer in Mexico. But let's not forget the cushy life she's living thanks to dear old dad's blood money. Check out her mansion, people. Despite all this, she's unapologetic about her father's misdeeds, and even defends him online with this thought-provoking quote, "I'm beautiful because of my mother, intelligent because of my father, and a murderer because of me." Meanwhile, El Chapo's youngest children, Emali and Maria, are living the dream life in sunny California. Born in August 2011, these adorable twin daughters are as happy and peaceful as can be. Looks like they're getting to enjoy the fruits of their father's labor, without any of the headaches that come with being part of a notorious cartel family. The children of Pablo Escobar. This is Juan Pablo, the son of Pablo Escobar, a notorious drug lord who made $140 million per day and killed anyone who opposed him. Despite his father's atrocities, Juan loved him and was loyal to him. Pablo shielded Juan from his criminal activities, and Juan only learned the extent of his father's violence when he grew up. Escobar believed what he was doing was right and showed no remorse for his actions. After Escobar's death, Juan, his sister, and his mother fled to Argentina. Juan, now known as Sebastian, rebuilt his life as an architect and lecturer, warning against idolizing his father and educating others on the reality of his crimes. Pablo caused the deaths of an estimated 3,000 people. When Juan was 7 years old, Pablo told him that he had been abandoned by everyone. Despite experiencing poverty for the first time and being wrongly accused of crimes, Juan never followed in his father's footsteps. Juan's loyalty to his father was unwavering, until he learned of his father's heinous crimes. He prioritized his family's safety, choosing to warn others about his father's true nature. Pablo Escobar shielded his son from his violent criminal activities. After his father's death, Juan rebuilt his life and warned against idolizing his father. Juan's loyalty to his father was tested, but he ultimately chose to do what was right by prioritizing his family's safety and educating others on the reality of his father's crimes. Manuela, the daughter of Pablo Escobar, was born on May 25, 1984, and was only 9 when his father was killed by the DEA. Despite being showered with 1 million gifts yearly, she was constantly afraid and on the run due to her father's cartel. A bombing attempt on their lives had left her deaf in her left ear. However, she's the only member of the Escobar family who's never been accused or arrested for any crime. She took the name Juana after the family changed their names. Her father's crimes affected her immensely, and she suffers from anxiety and depression. Living with her brother, Manuela's life exemplifies how the children of notorious kingpins will forever be impacted by their father's actions. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. And as always, feel free to leave a comment with your thoughts or suggestions for future videos. See you in the next one.